50 years ago, Judith Heumann said, "If I have to feel thankful about an accessible bathroom, when am I ever going to feel an equal part of the community?"
Accessible toilets were first introduced in the 1970s to help people just like me with disabilities. They are usually larger to accommodate for mobility aids and carers, have grab rails for transferring, and have a higher toilet seat, among many other features. Many disabled people, just like me, rely on having accessible toilets available to them in public in order to help them leave the house. However, a lot of establishments just seem to get it wrong when it comes to accessibility, as you're about to find out.
In today's video, we are going to be discussing one of my favourite topics. I'm not sure it's my favourite topic, but it's something that rules our lives. Accessible bathrooms. We're going to be discussing the pet peeves of accessible bathrooms. Why? To raise a little bit of awareness of these issues so that hopefully accessible bathrooms will get better with time. Now, I actually feel thankful when I see an accessible bathroom. I don't take them for granted, and I'm always sort of planning my days around whether a place has an accessible bathroom. And I think in 2022 it shouldn't be like that, but sadly it is. Just because someone says they have an accessible bathroom doesn't actually mean the bathroom is accessible. As we dive in a little deeper into this video, you will find out. So, before we get started, make sure to thumbs up, share this video with a friend, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to comment your pet peeves of accessible bathrooms down below. Thank you so much for sharing your pet peeves over on Instagram for this video. I've included some of mine as well, and some of these have been sent in by you. First of all, why not talk about the access? I have seen some very interesting photos where accessible bathrooms have had a step to get into. I have to say, I haven't actually experienced that in this country, and I don't think I have experienced it while I've been overseas, but I have seen pictures of this being the case. But not only that, I have experienced accessible bathrooms not actually being wheelchair accessible. There are accessible bathrooms which are more companion toilets, which I can't fit into. There's a accessible bathroom at my doctor's surgery, which is extremely tight. That's my doctor's surgery, which is a brand new building, by the way. Hopefully I've got the picture. Oh, this lovely bathroom. I had to reverse in, and there was no way you could do a side transfer. There wasn't room to turn. It was absolutely tiny. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and sometimes you'll just make anything work, if you get me. And what's with the flowers? Unnecessary decoration in a bathroom. Let's add that to the list. Sometimes accessible bathrooms have extremely heavy doors that are really, really hard to open. Most accessible bathrooms will have nice light doors that open outwards, and you can get in nice and easily, but sometimes they are a little bit too heavy. Not only that, sometimes there'll be the automatic buttons and you'll think, yes, oh, so exciting, a button, but pressing the automatic door handle and thought it was locked, so I was sat there. That was quite annoying. One thing that has been shared over on Instagram is that some people use the accessible bathroom as a stall to get themselves ready, get themselves changed for a night out when they're going straight from the office, yeah. Ready for that party, to do their makeup together, girls giggling while you sit there almost wetting yourself because you can't get into any of the other bathrooms. Don't do that. We need the accessible bathrooms to be available to us there and then because we can't hold on for many, many reasons. This I have encountered a couple of times, and I have a little bit of a video here when they use the accessible bathrooms in restaurants to put high chairs in, or chairs, or even just use it as a stock room. It's incredibly annoying because it then makes the bathroom too small, so then you can't transfer and you can't turn around. So I always make a point of them taking it out. As you know, I have done a lot of work campaigning for the red cords to be hanging free, loosey-goosey. That is how we want the red emergency cords to be. They need to be hanging freely to the ground so that if someone was to have a fall, they can reach over and pull the emergency cord for help. However, lots of non-disabled people think it's really annoying to have that cord in the way, and they will tie it up out the way, or in some cases, they'll even cut it. So a pet peeve of ours is when the red cords are tied up. Now, this isn't a problem that affects me directly, but it is a problem for quite a lot of other people out there, and that is not having an adult changing place. Changing places are becoming more widespread throughout the UK. I have done a previous paid campaign with Tesco highlighting the new changing places available in the Tesco stores, and I have been seeing a lot more changing places popping up throughout the UK. However, there are still few and far between, and if that's something that you rely on, your days are a lot more restricted. Oh, how annoying is it when it's a Peddle bin? You've got to use your foot to open the bin all the time. All the bins issued in the accessible bathrooms over here in the UK, I'm pretty sure, are Peddle bins. Let's just think about that for a moment. I get it, it's more hygienic, but it doesn't work for me. So it makes life really, really hard. We need to come up with a solution for this. We need a nice automatic bin. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Moving on from that is when there are just so many bins. Marks and Spencer, one of my local Marks and Spencers, are horrendous for this. They have 2 nappy bins in there, they have a hand towel bin, they have a sanitary bin, and they have a biohazard bin. I just think it's a bit much. However, saying that, some of you said that sometimes there are no biohazard bins available in an accessible bathroom, which can be very unhygienic and a little bit dangerous as well. Also, for people using ileostomies, catheters, or even administering medications, having no surfaces. That's the washing machine. A lot of you were saying that you have to balance your medications or your catheters or your bags on sinks and things, which is not particularly hygienic. If you had a nice surface area that you could wipe down with an anti-bac wipe, that would be a lot better. And I know how difficult it is if I'm just using a bathroom not having surfaces. If you're like me and you're a bit clumsy, not very dexterous, you end up like dropping things, which is really, really annoying. This is a huge one that I would like to address, and that is that not all disabilities are visible. I have to pause this, I can't bear the sound of that. Okay, it stopped. I'm back. We were just about to touch upon invisible disabilities, which I think is a really, really important thing to talk about in this video. We're about halfway through, so I think here is a really great place to place it. Not all disabilities are visible. You can look at someone on the outside, they may look like a healthy, non-disabled person, but on the inside, there can be a lot going on. And with that comes the need for using an accessible bathroom. Now that can range from having a colostomy or ileostomy bag, having diabetes, having ADHD, autism. There are so many conditions. Now, if you are one of those people, you feel comfortable, then share your experiences down below. How does it make you feel using an accessible bathroom when you don't have a visible disability? Many, many people need to use accessible bathrooms for many, many reasons. So let's all spread a little bit of kindness and educate ourselves and be accepting of others. As is the case with non-accessible bathrooms, they can be pretty disgusting and they can be forgotten to be cleaned because disabled people don't go out, do they? They can be very wet and very slippery, which can be very dangerous for transferring, or if you're an ambulatory wheelchair user, or if you have a walking difficulty, or for anyone really. We don't want wet, slippy floors, thank you. Now this one has really started to grate on me. I haven't really noticed it before, but recently, I don't know why, but recently, I've been noticing when the mirrors are too high. I've come across 3 accessible bathrooms recently, all in quite close time frame of each other, where I have only been able to see the top of my head, or not even that. And I don't know what's worse, not having a mirror at all, or having a mirror that's too high. Like, you know, on first instances, you can laugh about it and think, oh, you know, we're used to this kind of thing. But then if we dive a little deeper, it's actually quite ableist. There's the misconception that maybe disabled people don't need to check their appearance or don't care about their appearance, or it's just been put there as an afterthought. Someone has gone in, they've ticked all of the boxes, but they haven't consulted actual people with disabilities. Actually become one of my biggest bugbears recently. Here is one. What about the sinks being in the way? Sometimes the bathrooms are so cramped, or they're actually relatively large, but everything has been cramped into one corner. Have you noticed that? You've got the toilet roll, you've got the soap dispenser, you've got the sink, you've got the bars, you've got the toilet, you've got the bin, and everything is all cramped in one corner, and you're like trying to get in and do everything, but you can't. And sinks being too low or too high. I love it when you go into a changing places toilet and the sink is adjustable. Oh, it's a luxury. I'm also particularly fond of the automatic sink basins, taps, and the flush, but I really hate it when they are just too stiff and they're at an awkward angle so you can't quite reach them, so you can't flush, and also turning on the taps as well. That can be really, really tricky. And also having support rails that are broken, they're too wobbly, or they're too stiff and you can't use them. And quite often there'll be no toilet seat. No thank you. Or the toilet seat will be broken and wobbly. You know what? Using the bathroom is like a life-threatening, dangerous situation for us disabled people sometimes. Non-disabled people just don't have a clue. They just waltz in, they do what they gotta do, and they get out. For us, it's like a Ninja Warrior assault course sometimes. And we don't know if we're gonna make it. We don't know if we're gonna make it out. What a thought! So, my wonderful friends, that is my pet peeves of the accessible bathrooms. If you enjoyed this video, then I think you will enjoy pet peeves of my wheelchair. I really do like making these kind of videos, and let me know if there's any other subjects you would like me to cover. I will be covering pet peeves when you go out shopping. I'm quite excited for that one. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out some other videos that I have made that you may have missed, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye!